My name is Kiana Turner. This is my YouTube channel, Even in the Valley. And I'm coming to you today on part two, as long as you look up. And I just want to just give you a good encouraging word today, speaking on just looking up, part two. Coming from three scriptures that my father gave to me, God. First one is 1 Samuel 8. Second one is Exodus 10. And the third, Ephesians 6. And it's basically coming from 1 Samuel 8, basically was telling me that the children of Israel didn't want God carrying them no more. They didn't want it. No, they're like, no. And, Samuel was prophet at the time of the nation. He would hear God, he would lead the people, but he was getting well stricken in age. And, he was basically about to die. And his sons, they wasn't up to par either. So it was like the children of Israel, they said, go to God. Ask him. Tell him, can we have a king? We want a king. Everybody else got a king. Everybody else doing it. We want a king too. So Samuel, being the man that he are, peacemaker, the prophet, that, he's a mediator. He hears God. He hears the people and he hears God on how to do things. He went to him. He said, they asking for a king, Father. What do I do? Well, he said, tell them that I'm making things easy for them. Like, they don't have to do nothing. You don't have to do work. You don't have to, basically, all you have to do is just ask. And I will fight, and I will send my angels to fight. Basically. They were saying, no, we want a king. Give us a king. Because when he went back to the people, they said, we don't want to hear that. But the simple fact is, when he went back to God, he said, they are not rejecting you, Samuel. They're rejecting me. And back then, when you disobeyed the Most High God, you was dealt with very, very seriously. And they didn't want to do that anymore. Which brings me to this. It's like, how soon do we forget? Because he brought me to Ephesians 10. Not Ephesians 10, but Exodus 10. Sorry, excuse me on that. Exodus 10. Where the children of Israel had leaders. He had to come in with a strong hand and deliver his children out of bondage. Because they were dealt with so harshly, so severe. The slavery was so severe. The king, the Pharaoh, the king, the leader then, he led them. He was just so severe. And they prayed, they fast. I believe they worshiped, they prayed, fast. Sackcloth and ashes. Trying to pray to God. Look, we in bondage. Get us out of this, get us out of this, get us out of this. He finally got them out. And he delivered them with a strong hand, because Pharaoh didn't want to let his people go. He did not want to let God's people go. He wasn't very pleasant. He wasn't nice at all. And it brings me to this about looking up. Because in life, we're going to have to learn how to be able to just coincide with everybody. Come under subjection. Because that's what we're living in. This is the time that we're living in. We have to come into subjection with somebody, which brings me to Ephesians 6. Ephesians 6 basically talks about, and there's many scriptures in the Bible, but that was the only one that was brought to my attention. It talks about obeying your parents in the Lord. It talks about the parents not provoking their kids to wrath. It talks about leaders, treat your people that's under you right. People that's under people, do right by the person that's over you. It talks about those many things. And it goes on and on and on. It just things like that. When you have to deal with people in life, this is what you have to do. This is part of looking up. Part of looking up is just being able to go to the word, being taught on how to deal with situations in life that is difficult and too much for you to bear. Some things in life is just you cannot. It be over you. It be bigger than you. You just can't go around it. You got to walk in the will. If you don't walk in his will, his way, his word, his statutes, it can lead to other things. It can lead to getting killed. It can lead to murder. It can lead to so many things that is out of his will, and he don't want that for us. He don't want us dying. He don't want us getting into a place where we be distressed and coming up with all type of things to just step on other folk to get ahead. He don't want that for us, because eventually it turns our souls over to the enemy, making us very vulnerable to the enemy to be lost, eternally lost forever. So this is what I mean about looking up, walking in the fruits: love, patience, kindness, tenderness, temperance, long suffering, and so on. All of that is a part of looking up in situations, because if you look out toward man, if you look out toward your problems, this, that, and the third, and I'm not saying that you should sit around and just, I don't need nobody help, no, I'm not saying that, because when we in this life, we're going to have to learn how to coincide with each other, get along with each other. I don't care who you are. I don't care what nation you come from, what nationality, what race, what this, that, and that. You're going to have to learn how to coincide with each other and bring about a peaceful fruit of it, that it be peace. Yes, we are. It goes back to they wanted a king. So it is the society that we live in, that we have people over us. We have to learn how to look to him through his word. Through his word. And if you're a person that just don't have no upbringing in the church at all, you don't know how to do this, that, and third at all, then I suggest that you find a church home. It's a lot of places all over the world, very spiritual people, very high in spirit, very mighty people that is willing to nourish your walk and get you where you need to go. When you don't understand, there's a lot of people don't even own a Bible, but I suggest that you get to a church home. Let somebody nourish your spirit, man. That the Most High can pour himself upon you and give you peace in this world, because in life, we are not going to always have people that's over us that's going to do what they're supposed to do. That's not it. In life, it's not going to be people that's subject on the folk that's over them going to do what they're supposed to do. But the word, that's what I mean by looking up. But the word helps you. Getting in God helps you each and every day on how to battle this life out with when the enemy comes in there like a flood. What you going to do when your faith is gone, and you need some refreshing? What you going to do? You're going to look up. You have to look up. These are his many ways of looking up. Many ways, and there's many scriptures in the Bible. Teaches us many stories in the Bible, teaches us on how mighty God is for his people that really do trust him and love him and have faith to know that he's going to bring them out of certain situations. But you have to look up, looking up with the fruits of the Spirit, looking up with the Ephesians 6, And then even in Ephesians 6, it even goes in depth even more. A lot of times when the fleshly way of doing things to try to coincide with people doesn't work, it even goes in depth. And it says, I'm going to Ephesians 6 and I'm reading starting at the 10th verse. And he said, finally, brethren, be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. So he already knew it was going to be some folk that just ain't going to do what they're supposed to do. You're going to come across people that just going to come at you. But he said, finally, my brother, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. You got to be able to stand. But he said you have to put on the whole armor. I'm going to keep reading on this. He said, listen. He said they gave us the fleshly way, the natural way of handling, coinciding with people that are superior over you and people that are inferior, on how to coincide. This is the fleshly way. Ephesians 6, 1 through 9. But then it says, finally, my brother, I'm going to start over. Be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness, this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. In order for you to be able to get to that level, you have to be able to go somewhere to a church and forsake not. The Bible don't want us to forsake not the assembly also. A lot of times you can know a lot and fell off from going to church and need to just go back just to be humble and submissive under authority, under chain of command. It's a lot of reason why forsaking not the assembly is important. But for people that haven't had this ever, simply go to church. If you want to be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, if you want to be able to not be eternally doomed to hell, this is what you got to do. You got to go. You just got to get in his will. And you can first start by going to a church home so they can give you a better understanding of what's going on in the spiritual walk, in your spiritual walk, in the spiritual life that's in us. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God. Okay, so when folks ain't doing what they supposed to do, you done did all that you could do. He said, wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, having done all to stand. I was just saying that when you just did everything you supposed to do and that enemy just still keep coming at you, still jugging, still poking, still picking, still okay, he said stand. He said, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God. I mean, you can't go up there lacking. You got to have it all. You got to be protected. You got to have your shoulder pad. You got to have your helmet. You got to have the breastplate. You got to have some protection, some padding over here, padding over there, pad, just pad everywhere. Okay? He said the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day and have it all done to stand. That when you done did everything you can do. Stand therefore having your loins girt about with truth. Basically just, if you married, be faithful to your husband. If you ain't married, you have to follow the rules and the regulations and the laws of this land when it comes down to marriage. You can't just be out here. The law say you have to be married, have a paperwork stating that you are married. That would call marriage. Now, in a lot of places, it don't require that. It don't require paperwork. But over here in America, it do. If you live here in America, the proper thing is you stay faithful to your husband. In Jesus, Yahushua, he even go farther in that and say you have one man and one wife. Some places don't even believe in having one husband and one wife. Some places don't believe that. But America do. You have to have your license. That would considered married, okay? And if you're not married, then don't be fooling around. Wait for your husband. I just got to put it out there. I know a lot of people don't like to hear the truth. You know, I was in that rebellious state. I didn't want to hear the truth either. Okay, let's just put it out there. I didn't want to hear the truth either. But the truth will set you free. But that what that mean about having your loins girt about with truth and having on the breastplate of righteousness. Now that's one way of having your loins girt about with truth. I'm just going to bring that point out because it's an issue and it need to be dealt with. And having on a breastplate of righteousness, just to have your heart right. A lot of time, how can you just girt about yourself with the, how can you girt your loins up with truth when your heart ain't right? So your heart have to be right. A lot of time, girt about your loins with truth is just doing the right thing when folk looking and when they ain't. And your feet soiled with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Don't be always a person that every time you look around, you just, what they said on Facebook. Oh, let me go. And, did you see that sitcom? Life is not all about just gossiping about other people's lives or, it's more to life to do. This is the word. Don't shoot the messenger. This is the word. And your feet soiled with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Okay? Not so quick to be running the gossip and just see what's going on. What's going on? Oh, what they said happened. No. Now, this is if you want to stand in the evil day now, okay? If you don't want to stand in the evil day, you ain't got to do none of this. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, okay? So you have to have faith. Now, let me tell you something about that faith. One thing about faith is this. It's going to be times in your walk, in your journey here in this life that just going to throw you some snares and throw you some things and make you just question, is God even here? Is he even care? Do he even care? That's what faith going to have to come in at. Because a lot of times some of us have to just be dealt with. Some of us just have to just need to know that you know that you know. You walk around here talking the talk. Is you walking it? And that's what they're about, faith. Talking the talk, but walking the walk. Walk it out. Walk it out. And it comes, that's what comes. You have to go on even when you don't feel like it, even when you see things are just not going well, even when it seems like everybody in the town hates your guts, even when it seems like things are just not going to get better. Everybody done shut the door. They done closed the door over here. They done closed the door over there. Faith. You have to walk it out. Above all, taking the shield of faith. That's what it's about. Walking it out when you don't even see where you're going. Wherefore ye shall be able to quench the fiery darts of the wicked. You're going to have to do that because the wicked, they're going to send forth things in your life to shake your faith, to make you question God. Is he even here? That's why you have to have faith. And taking the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. You got to have, so basically you got to have something that guard your head, like, ooh, you got to have the guard. You can't just let anything in your mind. So the eye gates, trust me, I know this. The eye gates, you can't let everything go in there, sink all in your brain, and and then it get down in your heart. Then after a while, you're going to have to want to walk it out. Walk it out. Yes, true enough. And that's what happens. That's what it means about standing when all it was to do was stand. Standing. Now, if you don't want to stand in the evil day, you ain't got to do this. You can just sit back prop your legs up, get somewhere all comfortable, this, that, and the third, and just be like, okay, I'm good, and just let the enemy just continue to steal, continue to take, continue to destroy, continue to do all this. Just let him continue, yeah. Hey, you don't want it in the evil day, because it's always it's gonna be a time in our life that it's always going to be an evil day that is going to question our walk with God. Is he even there? This is what you're going to have to do to stand. Regardless of this, regardless of that. Regardless, everybody gonna have that evil day, and God deal with us accordingly. He allowed the enemy to deal with us accordingly, because everybody's weakness is not the same. Some people get weak about this, some people get weak about that. But whatever that evil day is, it gonna come and it gonna test you, and you gonna have to learn. You either gonna sink or swim. Let's just sum it all up. You either gonna sink or you going to swim. Because I tell you, it's some real evil out here. Some real evil out here, and they do not mind devouring and tearing you apart. That's why through the word, and that's what I mean about looking up, through the word, you do these things to stand in the evil day. Every saint gonna be tested in the evil day. It's just a lot of times there ain't gonna be no way around it, but it's gonna be what you gonna do with it. Now, when you get a chance, that all of this right here that I was talking about reiterating on is Ephesians 6, chapter 6. I'm just saying, looking up. Looking up is just not looking up and bumping all in the stuff. When you looking up for a sign. You looking up for some help. You looking up for a purpose. You looking up for God's plan. You looking up for directions. And praying is not always just sitting up there praying and talking to God and telling him what you want. I want this, I want that, I want that. Just like some child just coming at you every time you look around. They just coming at you because they want something. No, praying is consulting God about your everyday walk, your everyday life, what the plan is, what's the vision, Father, what this and that, what you need me to do, and let him speak. It's like we talking to each other back and forth. Looking up. This is looking up part 2. Looking up. That's looking up. It's not just looking up and you tripping all over stuff. No. You have to apply this word. After a while, it's going to come a time, just like they said in Ephesians 6, in the evil day, you are going to be tried. You are going to be tested. And it's going to question, is God even real? Some of this stuff that we deal with. But that's where you have to have faith, and you have to stand strong. No enemy. The word say I can do all things through Christ that strengthen me. You said in your word, Father, that you will be with me even to the end of the world. You said, Father, that you would never leave me and forsake me. You have to remind him of that. You have to remind yourself of that. Speak those words in your spirit, man. Speak it. I'm Kiana Turner. This is my YouTube channel, Even in the Valley.